This video is sponsored by Squarespace. Lost in the noise of the various issues facing the Star Wars franchise in the aftermath of the firing of Gina Carano, the newly rebranded CBS All-Access streaming service Paramount Plus launched without making any waves to speak of. More recently, the announcement of the official start of production of Star Trek Strange New Worlds, as well as the addition of 5 new cast members, seemingly went unnoticed by the larger entertainment media complex. What did not go unnoticed, though, was the value of ViacomCBS being sliced in half by the stock market. Against this backdrop, Star Trek Strange New Worlds isn't just a Discovery spinoff. If rumors are to be believed, it may be Secret Hideout's proverbial last stand. In this video, we will go through the background against which Strange New Worlds is released, how it will differ from Discovery and Picard, and how it may shape the future of Star Trek. The current state of Star Trek is, to put it mildly, that the franchise has seen better days. In 2016, audiences showed how disappointed they were in Star Trek Into Darkness by staying away from Star Trek Beyond in droves. It bombed, and every single one of the numerous attempts at bringing Star Trek back to the big screen since has failed to attract the funding necessary to make it happen. As such, the franchise appears to be confined to the small screen for the foreseeable future. Alas, things aren't looking much better there. Star Trek Discovery was the flagship for the streaming service CBS All Access, a service that was recently discarded and replaced with Paramount Plus. We will get back to how that is going in due course. Internationally, Star Trek Discovery fared so well that the international distributor Netflix passed on their right of first refusal for Star Trek Picard, leaving Amazon to pick it up at a lower price. Neither Amazon nor Netflix picked up Star Trek Lower Decks when it was released in the US. Amazon only picked up the international rights for that 6 months later, after the asking price was drastically cut. Despite numerous headlines and articles proclaiming both Star Trek Discovery and Star Trek Picard to be massive hits, Discovery utterly tanked in the ratings when Season 1 was broadcast on the regular terrestrial CBS last fall. On top of that, the previous extremely lucrative merchandise sales have dried up to a trickle. To put it bluntly, the franchise may be in the worst place it has ever been, because after both the cancellation of the original series back in 1969 and after the cancellation of Enterprise in 2005, there was a demand for more. After the kind of Star Trek audiences have been treated to over the past decade, it is debatable how much demand for more there is left today. In June of 2020, former Fox executive Emma Watts was named president of the Paramount Motion Picture Group, serving directly under Paramount Pictures CEO Jim Giannopoulos. Watts would come on board to Paramount under the newly remerged ViacomCBS, and she was given a clear mandate directly from Ultimate owner Sherry Redstone: get Star Trek rebooted and back on track. The only production in active development where any kind of meaningful change could still be made was Strange New Worlds. To many, the highlight of Star Trek Discovery in its entirety was Anson Mount's Captain Pike. Mount, who had previously starred in Hell on Wheels and Marvel's biggest misfire, The Inhumans, was first announced as taking the role on April 9th of 2018, alongside Rebecca Romijn as Number 1 and Ethan Peck as a younger, learning disabled Spock.
You serious?
Yes, we are not joking. Michael Burnham hasn't taught him how to be Spock yet. Pike, Number 1, and Spock all appeared on screen in Discovery's second season, and despite all other flaws in that season, and there were many, Anson Mount's Captain Pike became something of a fan favorite, as he was the only thing that reminded audiences of Star Trek. Rumors of a Captain Pike spin-off series started to swirl, as pitch after pitch after pitch were submitted behind the scenes. In the end, a take CBS could get behind was found, and the series was announced in the spring of 2020, a year after Pike and his crew were last seen in the end of Discovery's second season. The show was greenlit with a pilot written by Akiva Goldsman, Jenny Lumet, and Alex Kurtzman, and with Goldsman, Kurtzman, and Lumet serving as executive producers and showrunners, the series promised to bring back the quote-unquote optimism of the original series, which marks a significant deviation from the dystopian Star Trek Discovery and Picard. Changes may, however, be more significant than anyone involved with it had originally planned. Strange New Worlds was already in development by the time Emma Watts was announced to be overseeing things going forward for Paramount. her mentioning right away that getting Star Trek back on track was a top priority, not only cast significant shade on Secret Hideout and Alex Kurtzman, who were implied to have derailed it, it was also a signal that a new direction would be taken from there on out. Showrunner Akiva Goldsman has worked with Alex Kurtzman for a while now, but he has a far longer history with Emma Watts. To this end, Strange New Worlds has been rumored to be Akiva Goldsman's baby more than anyone else's. And after Emma Watts provided her notes, it has also been rumored that the version of it now going forward at Paramount Plus is quite different from how it was envisioned when Alex Kurtzman helped co-write it. Considering Goldsman has worked with Watts before, it has been opined to us by people who claim familiarity with the situation, so do take this with the regular grain of salt and treat as rumor, that Goldsman has been given the mandate to reimagine Strange New Worlds in whatever way is needed to bring back the audience that were chased away by Discovery and Picard. To this end, Kurtzman has apparently been creatively cut out of the loop. Supporting this, we were told by a few different sources that a blow-up behind the scenes caused Kurtzman to walk until things were worked out, at which time he returned, though from what we understand, not without any intention of admitting defeat, or allowing the direction to change by too much. The most recent rumors we've heard indicate that Kurtzman and his team are determined that Trek not go too far in the direction of the original series, that Emma Watts and Akiva Goldsman want to take it. Despite not being actively involved in Star Trek anymore, Kurtzman is being kept busy with the critically mauled Clarice on a day-to-day basis. He still exerts influence for as long as ViacomCBS are bound by the ironclad contract Les Moonves gifted Kurtzman and Secret Hideout on his way out the door. Hence, there are some limitations to what kind of changes can be done to any Star Trek made under the alternate license, under which all Trek has been made since the first J.J. Abrams movie. This is something we've been told Kurtzman takes very seriously. ViacomCBS also can't get rid of him easily or reject everything he does. We have rumors indicating that over the course of his tenure, they must grant him a specific number of series regardless of any other matters. That Secret Hideout botched the first series out of the gate so badly that no international funding partner wants to stick around for the upcoming ones is a huge problem for ViacomCBS. As of this moment, when Star Trek Strange New Worlds has no international distributor or funding partner, it is ViacomCBS that have to shell out for it in the meantime. This is a bad time for an extra expenditure like that. On Friday, March 26th, ViacomCBS hit the headlines of any financial publication worth their salt. Reason being because it's not every day that a giant media corporation sees half its stock value wiped out in a matter of days. There are a couple of reasons for this. One is that ViacomCBS started selling shares, indicating they need money and took advantage of high share prices, causing some analysts to examine them a bit closer. Another reason is that shares of ViacomCBS have been overpriced for a while, due to the promise of Paramount Plus looming over the horizon. As such, this is in some sense an expected market correction. However, that it was such a big one that it may indicate a couple of things, one of them being a major loss of confidence. Bloomberg pointed out that the fall in ViacomCBS's share price was connected with them crowding into the streaming market, where they face intense competition from established leaders like Netflix Incorporated, the Walt Disney Company, and Amazon.com Incorporated. They have less to offer in the breadth and popularity of their programming and face a tough fight. At the same time, they are losing traditional pay TV customers to the bigger players. In other words, Paramount Plus simply doesn't have the content needed to compete against the established players. And although Bloomberg doesn't say this, chances are Emma Watts and the higher-ups at ViacomCBS are perfectly well aware that they should have had that in Star Trek, but that they don't. Star Trek Discovery is not a popular draw, neither is Star Trek Picard, and the animated series Lower Decks and Prodigy aren't even worth mentioning. This is a testament to how badly Star Trek has been managed by J.J. Abrams and Bad Robot on the big screen, and their Section 31 Secret Hideout and Alex Kurtzman on the small screen. Together, they have taken Star Trek from what used to be one of the most profitable entertainment brands in the industry and turned it into something audiences have positively recoiled from. Now, it is up to Akiva Goldsman to rebuild and bring audiences back to Star Trek with Strange New Worlds, by still having to work within the Star Trek Discovery continuity and aesthetics. Do you think he can do it, or that it can even be done? We wouldn't have needed to find out if Secret Hideout had valued the audience that come with Star Trek in the first place. No matter how big you may think you are nothing without your audience. This isn't just true for those that happen to hold on to one of the biggest entertainment IPs, but for any business, big or small, and indeed for anyone operating in any public space, and especially those who are building their audience in the first place. Anyone starting out in any kind of enterprise, or who have started out but are kind of stuck, needs to build an audience and a community to move on to the next level. Someone who can help out in doing that is Squarespace, the sponsors of this video. Whether you're looking to create a website, an online store, or even a blog with commentary features that supports threaded replies, Squarespace has you covered and will provide a venue and marketing tools that enables you to build and interact with your audience within your chosen field. We emphasize chosen field because Squarespace is endlessly customizable to fit your particular field. Depending on your brand, interest, or enterprise, Squarespace provides numerous templates that can be tailored to fit your needs, allowing you to create the perfect online venue to build and cater to your audience, or allow you to put yourself and your offerings out there. So head on over to Squarespace for a free trial and to start building the online presence and marketplace you want. When you are satisfied and ready to launch, go to squarespace.com/midnight to save 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain. As for the continued developments with Star Trek over at ViacomCBS, we will keep you up to date here at Midnight's Edge. Till then, let us know your thoughts and how excited you are for Strange New Worlds in the comments.